G'day, I'm here as the sun's going down on our one-day biodynamic workshop. Scotty Hickman is here with me. He's very kindly hung in there at the bitter end. Scotty, you have a very interesting role. You're not just a farmer, but you're actually helping other farmers graze better, I guess. Can you tell me, I know a little bit, but these guys may not, where you are, what you're doing, and why, essentially?
Yeah, look, I'm a farmer, as you say, at Canowindra, and I work for Mid Lachlan Landcare 1 to 1.5 days a week on a project called Growing the Grazing Revolution, which has been going for about 8 years. It started as predominantly as a support peer network system where we're actually trying to get graziers or farmers to move into sustainable ag and regenerative ag practices. So we use a lot of different principles, a lot of different ways that we actually try and do that. But it is a peer learning group as well. So we run, we've got grazing groups. We run field days, obviously.
So when it's a grazing group, so farmers are just in your network.
Yeah. We've got about 8 groups now in our area. Where we
over what sort of area are you covering?
We travel pretty well from, we do overlap being Landcare, obviously. We travel pretty well from Cadell to Mandurama, in a big circle down to Kurawatha, Goolagong. Mainly centred in around Cowra and Canowindra, but we've got quite a few groups in that area. And seasonally,
so there's probably just for the viewers who don't know that area, it's what it'd be a couple of hundred k's top to bottom, sideways,
something like that.
Fairly
So it's a fairly large area, and we tend to meet using maybe a change in season or something like that, and it's mainly a discussions as to what is happening with your management at that time, sharing that information. I mean, if you can get 15 farmers in a room and talk about what's going on, that's a hell of a lot of experience. And if we can get people just to maybe shift their thinking a little bit so that we're moving towards that sustainable or regenerative, and that's for future generations too. It's not just for us, it's for future generations. It's incredibly important. And it's important that we involve, as I say, we use peer leaders as much as anything to help us do that.
So David Marsh, my buddy just over the hill here.
Yeah, my brother Gus Hickman, he's very big in it.
Saw it Beef Week the other day.
Yeah, Beef Week. John Rollins is another one. Ross Geen. We've got quite a few that we actually bring along to these meetings, and we've got the new crop coming through now too. And it's very satisfying for me that some of those people we started with sort of 7 or 8 years ago have done some training. They don't necessarily have to be, but they're overtaking us. And that to me is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. As much as they would hate me to say that, they're overtaking us very quickly.
That's good. Well done.
Terrific.
Well done, young guys, team.
Yep, that's fantastic.
And Scotty, it's a fantastic concept. Is anyone else doing it? Are there other groups in this sort of semi-formal way, exist in the state? And if there isn't, how would someone watching this sort of get that going in their part of the world?
Number one rule is just because it works in our area doesn't mean it's going to work in yours. Okay. We've done a lot of work with Crookwell, Upper Lachlan. We're doing a little bit of stuff with Wedden as well, and various other groups. And it has to be tailored for what people want. There's no doubt about it. If people aren't involved and don't want it, don't be involved and don't have some input, it's not going to work. The model at Crookwell is working terrifically. They're doing their own stuff now, which is absolutely fantastic. They have a nucleus of people, and it's very driven, which is absolutely terrific. We help start it off, and it's nothing more satisfying when you see that. It's terrific.
And they run with it.
They run with it. So it's really important that you understand what outcomes you want from it, a bit of a goal of why you're doing it, hopefully getting the right person to do it too, which helps a bit to keep that drive going, keeping it interesting, but having involvement. So we involve everybody from pure farmers to the best holistic managed people that are in the area, and anybody in between. And you want people to be involved and feel part of it. If they don't feel part of it, it won't work.
Forget it. And essentially, it's a network, and you said there's 8 sort of groups in your zone now, and they meet at someone's farm, someone's property, on a designated day, and sit down, a cup of tea, chit chat, and then Q&A. Is it questions? Does the farmer give a bit of an intro?
Usually we go around the room and have a bit of a chat about what is going on at this time of year. And at this time it's really poignant at this stage with the drought, or the dry time. I don't like to use the word drought, but the dry spell. Our
As
last-
Graham Rees said the other day at Beef Week, I said, "Are you doing anything interesting at the moment, Graham?" He goes, "Yeah, I've got a project. It's called the drought." I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Just call it a project.
Yeah, it is.
The dry time.
It is.
You're right.
And it is. And it's interesting. We had a group of, just one of our meetings that we've just gone, had about 15 farmers in the room. And they all shared a different experience about how they've been managing this dry time over the past 3 to 4 months. And we had people there full-blown feeding, no doubt. But the interesting thing was that everybody in that room had a strategy of what they were going to do in the next.
I've got to remember to turn the phone bit off. It wasn't Malcolm Turnbull this time.
Anyway, so that was really good to hear. And the other good thing was that there was cross-information going across the room that people could pick up and run with. And I think the most poignant thing that came out of that was a couple of people came up and said, I realise now that I'm not the only person in the situation I'm in with no rain and that sort of thing, but it was nice to hear that we've all got some idea of what we're trying to do and I'm comfortable to speak it out.
Yep.
That's a big weight off their shoulders for a start.
So the whole process of sharing, and I mean, it's on someone's veranda, it's in someone's wool shed. I mean, and I've been to quite a few, some of yours and other ones that sort of were probably less formal. It's a really safe place, I've found, because everyone's there for the similar reasons. They're there to share. They've got similar sort of mindset. And my experience has been that is, and I said it the other day talking to someone else, it's being in this network of farmers is not just life-changing, it's life-saving often.
And I work with about 4 or 5 principles now. Like, one is ground covers king. We know that. Understanding growth of plants and recoveries and when it's close season, how much grass you got, how many animals you got, how many hectares, very important. Biodiversity king, there's no doubt about that being profitable. If you're not profitable, we can't do it. But the other big one I've added in is get yourself a mentor. Get someone that you can talk to and also get yourself involved in a group. And to me, that is powerful stuff. I've got probably 3 mentors. Obviously, Dave Marsh is one, my brother, and my mate Dave Walker. I talk to them probably, especially now, we support each other once a week at least. Fantastic. In the Landcare network, I would love to tell you how many phone calls I've got during the week. And that's off my own time, which is fantastic. And it's just usually people running things by you. And I'm not a consultant. I'm not an advisor. I'm not an educator. They usually answer the questions for themselves. But it's a sounding board that they've got, and they know the answer already. But it's just confirmation of what is going through their head, and that to me is powerful stuff. So groups are incredibly powerful. So get yourself involved in a Landcare group, or a grazing group, or a biodynamics group, or whatever you like. But to me, that is really, really powerful stuff. And I've added that on because I realise how important it is.
Scotty, I'm going to drop into your place in the next couple of months, say good day, see what you're doing, and that's fantastic information. So if you want to know more, what do people do? Do they need to get on a website? Or
look, everything's on.
If they want to suss
If you look up Midlock and Landcare on the website, you'll see our website. Look for Growing the Grazing Revolution if you're interested in that. There's also a lot of other stuff on there as well. And you'll probably find my contacts on there if anybody's interested as well. Quite willing to talk to anybody.
You talked the leg off a table, this fella. And we didn't get to talk about biodynamics, but we will next time. Scotty, thank you.
Thanks, Charlie.
Good on you.
Great day.
Thank you.